Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont, Alberta. My name is Colton. I'm going to be taking you on a ride for the next 2 hours here. To my left, my technical producer, Brandon Douglas. We have got a treat for you tonight, between the Beaumont Outlaws and the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. Battling for the puck now, about ball now, It's been a while. Beaumont does, in fact, take possession as they look to set up on the court. Royer bringing it over to the court now. Joe Royer bringing it across. Beaumont starting to set up now. Whipping the ball around. Jimmy shakes. Two men draped across him. Low shot. Save the pads. And Beaumont's going to keep possession of this. Working it up high. Shoots. Save off the blocker. And that ball is going to roll all the way down the court. With about 25 seconds left in that shot clock. Beaumont getting two quick opportunities early in this game, 30 seconds in, as they're looking to bring it back across midcourt now. Getting it set up, Royer handed it off. Heading it down low to the right-hand side. Works it back to the high point left. Serbain up to the high right point, down low. Swinging it around, jump shots, and a bobble save picked up into the stick. As a Fort Saskatchewan netminer, that is McMillan, pardon me. It took me a second there to put that one together. And off the transition, Fort Saskatchewan makes it an early 1-0 lead. As that is Marcus Fouliard, who came across on the right-hand side and put it high shelf, making it 1-0 Fort Saskatchewan. 18:47 to go in the first period here inside the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont. Lining back up now for the first draw here. Fort Saskatchewan, if you're just joining us, just scored off the transition break-in. Beaumont, 3 men across, trying to break that ball free, and they do. Ball still loose, in the feet of Fort Saskatchewan. Beaumont does pick it up. Shimmy shake going across. Man's knocked down in front of the net. No calls, but they keep playing. Beaumont waiting for the rest of the offensive five to join the floor, and they do. Beaumont looking to answer here now. Whips it across from left to right. Shoots at McMillan with a nice little save as the player coming in hard. Beaumont still got possession. 20 seconds on that shot clock as it just renewed. Ball off the inbound glass on the right-hand side. Fort Saskatchewan starting to reset now. Fowler bringing it up the court now. Beret handed it off. Beret gets it back. No, Beret handed it off. Shot. And the big save from out long. As Beaumont brings it back across the floor now. Lots of the defensive subs coming off offense, coming onto the floor. Beaumont looking to get set up now. Into the lower right corner, up to the high left point. Shot off the blocker. Fort Saskatchewan comes away with it. And off the picks, Fort Saskatchewan's going to get a one-on-one here. Getting worked over by his defender, however. Fort Saskatchewan's going to get the starting five back onto the offense as the last of the defense makes their change. Back and forth action here now as 3 minutes have passed into this first period, with Fort Sask being up 1-0 early. Fort Saskatchewan still floating it around here. About 3 seconds on the shot clock. Fort Saskatchewan needs a last second break. They don't get it. Beaumont breaks back up onto the court now. That defense doing a good job of stifling Fort Saskatchewan's attack as their offense comes back on. Works across. Bounce pass. Back to the man. Just slightly sitting in the circles there. Sends it up to the midpoint. Down to the right-hand side. Back across. Just a little out of the reach of the stick. But Beaumont does keep possession of it. Looking for some possession behind the net. Wanted to jump in front of the net. Didn't quite get it, however. Sent it just wide. As it's a shot clock violation. Fort Saskatchewan is going to get that ball back. And they're going to see if they can make it 2-0 here with about 4 minutes gone in this first period. Nolsky handing it off now to Fouliard. Fouliard got the opening goal for Fort Saskatchewan. Lost the offensive five. Jordan now. And that across now. Pass intended for Nolsky. Broken up by Beaumont. As they're going to have a partial 2-on-2 here. Sends it across in the cross. Shot. Just off the post. As that broke into the corner and Fort Saskatchewan does regain possession of it once more. Bourret handed off down low. Beaumont makes that save, however, keeping that ball in at 1-0 Fort Saskatchewan. 4.5 minutes gone in the first period. Pardon me here. Oh, got some. Beaumont does break this ball back over. There was some rough stuff happening at center court as one of the Beaumont and Fort Saskatchewan players were starting to have a little bit of a tussle there. Beaumont hands it off into the left-hand side. Still have the ball, however, as they're starting to work it back around, send it up to the high right-hand side. Battling for it, and that's a big bump there as Fort Saskatchewan is going to pick this ball back up, however, and they're going to bring it back down. Looking for the lane now. Hand it back off to the right-hand side. Went for the slingshot underhand, and the Beaumont netminder equal and up to the task on that. Hands it back across down low left. They funneled it down middle. Didn't quite work. That was Marcus Fouliard. He's got the opening goal for this game. Wanted to make it 2. Couldn't quite make it. And that shot is just wide as Beret set one wide. They're going to battle for it just inside the zone. Beaumont draped by 2 defenders from Fort Saskatchewan. And Beaumont is, in fact, going to pick this ball up and let it run unless that shot clock for Fort Saskatchewan does run out. And, in fact, it will. Getting Beaumont the fresh 30 on the attack as they're going to break out now. This is Dallin Rye. Hands it off as he goes for the change now. Beaumont still serving. Delayed penalty on the way now. Extra man on for Beaumont. I think they're going to be pretty content here just to sling this around and see if they can use that extra man and get the shot on. And that is a big save by McMillan for Fort Saskatchewan, keeping that ball out of the net. Beaumont's going to get the first power play of the game, though, however. Not much argument there as Fort Saskatchewan is going to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Beaumont is, in fact, going to the power play for the first time tonight. Let's see if they can capitalize and even this game up after Fort Saskatchewan opened the scoring about 2.5 minutes into this one. Kind of putting Beaumont back on their heels a little bit, but this Fort Saskatchewan team, they're fast if you do not pay attention to them. They're working it around the perimeter now. Looking for a shot. Takes shot pass. Swings it and scores. What an absolute shot by Cam. Well, I apologize in advance, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a rough one for me. Cam Wengrachuk. He just absolutely buries that ball. And just like that, we got a tie game with 13-16 to go in this first period. Lining back up now. Let's see what happens here now. Lots of back and forth action. Now, not a lot of stoppages yet, so we're going to see what happens now. Beaumont does pick up possession. They're going to break out of their zone. Last of the defensive players are leaving the floor now as Beaumont gets their offense on and going to see if they can answer back again. Coming through, big save McMillan. As Fort Saskatchewan, in fact, does pick this ball up. They're going to break out. And that's just outreach to the stick of number 9, Matt Murphy on Fort Sask. Beaumont's just going to slow that one down now, and they're going to break back out. Last of the defense is starting to change over. There's a bit of discrepancy going on in the court now, but we're knocking a full minute off the clock here in the first period. We're going to have 12:09 left. As, yeah, there was no scores on the board. There was no power play, no nothing. We finally got that figured out. So what I'm seeing now is correct. We are running 1-1, 12:07 left in the first period here. Beaumont does keep possession of the ball, however, with 19 seconds on that shot clock. They wanted that jump cross crease pass, however. Didn't quite work. And this is Joe Fowler on Fort Sask. He's going to break it up to see what's going to happen. Fakes the pass into the zone, and he had to back out to Marcus Folliard. Folliard waiting for his offense to join him, and does. Handing it around now. Nolsky. Nolsky wants a shot, hands it back to Folliard. Folliard went behind the net. Just a little outreach of the stick. But Fort Sask hangs on to this ball with about 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And never mind, pardon me, that ball's going to go in transition as Beaumont got the partial breakaway opportunity, but Fort Saskatchewan's going to pick this ball up. They're going to get it out of danger. And that's going to hand it back off to Spatafora. As Spatafora brings it in, handed it off now. Last of the line mates, Folliard bobbled it for a second there. As he's going to bring that in, hand it back down to the low left-hand side. Yang grabs it for a second. Ball's battling for it in front of the net. Yang has it, but partially misses it. As Beaumont is going to bring this ball back out. Nice pass through the zone, however. As the loss of the offense is going to change over. Beaumont looks in transition now. Sends it across the high right point, down low right slot. Wants to swing out. And that was the nice little floater pass. Wasn't expecting it, however. And that is going to kill the play for Beaumont. Fort Sask gets the fresh 30. And we are about halfway through this first period with a 1-1 game here in Beaumont at the Ken Nickel Arena. We are in probably one of the oldest arenas in lacrosse. But this thing has some character. Let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this thing gets loud when the Outlaws score. And sometimes you just can't hear yourself talk, as Beaumont does, in fact, pick up that ball, and they're going to bring it out of the zone. Last of the defense comes off. Offense coming on in a hurry as they're trying to catch Fort Sask with some odd numbers. And the transition change does not quite work as they're going to hand that off. As the last of the offense does, in fact, join the floor now. Cuts by his man, spins by one, and he's working for it. That's a big save, McMillan. He's been sharp early this first period as Beaumont's come flying. A little bit of pushing and shoving there as ref calls for a transition ball going back Beaumont's way. Fresh 30 back on the clock. They're going to look around here, see what they can find. Pick set, shot, save made by McMillan. Fort Sask got the partial break. I didn't even see that pass. That was so fast. As Fort Saskatchewan does, in fact, pick that ball back up. They're going to go back to center. They've got a fresh 30 on the clock. They're going to wait for the offense to change. Because that was a transition play. That was all from the defense to the midfield guy. Folliard working around, has the man draped all over him. Looking high cross. Bounced in front of the net. Beaumont does pick it up. And a lob pass to half center. As that's a nice little floater pass, just out of the reach, however. But they're going to keep possession, 20 seconds on the shot clock as the offense joins. Pass just outside the range. As Folliard came in for the big hit, but just decided to pull up at the last second. Oh, wow. Pretty play there. Went for the high, went for High corner on the far side on a back shot. Didn't quite work out, however. Just wide of the net. For Saskatchewan and Beaumont both making changes now. Offense, defense. Trying to transfer onto the floor and see if they can break this deadlock tie with 8 minutes to go in the first period here shortly. Oh, that's a big pop there. That's going to result in a delay penalty on Beaumont. There's a second penalty of the... And yep, with 8 minutes to go in the first period here, ladies and gents, that's going to be 2 minutes Beaumont. That's cross-checking. You can't come around the net like that and pop a guy with the stick up. You can do a lot in this game. You just can't basically blast the guy's teeth down his throat. But Fort Saskatchewan is, in fact, going to the power play here. Beaumont's penalty kill, Fort Saskatchewan's power play. What's going to crack first? My guess is we're going to find out here rather short. We'll find out in 2 minutes, or we'll find out in the next 30 seconds. Fort Saskatchewan really working the ball around here now. They want that perimeter nice and tight for that close shot. Big block in front. And that's a foot in the crease violation. As Beaumont's going to go for the Hail Mary pass, just miss it. Fort Saskatchewan's going to pick that ball back up. They're going to hand it off. And that's Spatafor. Spatafor hands it off. That is back to Bure. Bure, he's waiting for the rest of the line mates to join him. They're on the floor now. He's going to walk it in nice and slow. Fort Saskatchewan's going to want to set this one up. As that'll work down low to the right-hand side. Back to the high right point. Back to the midpoint. Slick behind a back pass. Sends it across to the right-hand side. Just out way to the stick. And they will go for the far pass to the left-hand side. As shot expires, save made Beaumont. And that's going to be bringing the ball back out. With exactly 1 minute to go on the penalty kill. Beaumont's looking pretty good on the penalty kill so far. Fort Saskatchewan, lots of key opportunities made thus far. But nothing's cracked just yet. Beaumont's going to be pretty content just to kill the next 15 seconds of this power play out. That way it's just one last quick opportunity for Fort Saskatchewan's going back the other way, and that man's back out of the box. McMillan hands that ball off now. That's to Fouliard. Fouliard's going to bring it across half court now. 6.5 to go in the first period here. Just wanted to get set up. About 6 seconds separate the shot and game clock now. As that was a high shot in close. Just whizzed by the top corner there. There's a little bit of daylight left. Doesn't quite happen. You heard it hit the end boards. And that is going to result in a reload. Oh, that was a sneaky little play though, however. As the ball was more or less underhand flipped and then just slung into the net 5-hole. That's 2-1 for Fort Saskatchewan with 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first period. And that was Spatafora. He was finding the net there on the power play. Nice little ball movement from Fort Saskatchewan. You can't really knock how many tries they've had for just moving the ball around. Eventually something was going to break through. And there it was. Off the ensuing draw, however, Beaumont does get it back. Waiting for the offense to join the floor now. Back down to the lower right-hand side. Surveying, sends it up to the high midpoint. Back to the left, pardon me. Wants the shot. There's a big traffic jam in front there. And then the enclosed opportunity stymied by McMillan, as that was just an absolute inch from being a tie game once more. Ball just outside of the reach of number 5 on Saskatchewan, for Saskatchewan. That's Carter Walker, but he does come up with it, however. For Saskatchewan does work this ball back. They're going to get the fresh 5 off. Offense onto the floor now. 5:20 they go in the first period here. 2-1 for Saskatchewan of Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont. Save made Beaumont. He's going to freeze that ball up, and they're going to get the fresh 30 and break this back out. See if the transition offense here can make something work as Fort Saskatchewan gets their defense back onto the floor. As that is handed back off. They're crossing mid. They're over the attacking line now. Trailer coming behind. Goes to the shuffle down to the right-hand side. Looking for it. Fakes the shot. Oh, wow. And then there's a second enclosed opportunity there as the net was partially off. Big save McMillan right on the line to keep that ball out. Fort Saskatchewan is going to pick this ball up, however. And with a burst of speed, bringing it down the right-hand side. Folliard does get this ball back in center, fakes a flip off. He's just having a look. The last of his friends are joining him on the floor now. Low shot just wide of the net, and that's going to go all the way down the rink now. As McMillan's going to do something with that. Can't do much. That right there, it's a shot clock violation. Beaumont's going to get pretty good court possession now with about 4:19 to go here in the first period. 2-1 for Saskatchewan lead so far after one. Breaking it out now from left to right. And that was almost picked off. It hits the glass. For Saskatchewan's going to be picking this ball back up. Freeze violation, I do believe. Working it from the low right-hand side just before the goal line. Wanted to take it all the way. Couldn't quite get it, however, as Nalski was stopped just in front of the net. Wanted the hard pass going high, just outreaching the stick, and that hit the boards in behind the net. Beaumont's going to break this ball back out. 3:40 to go in the first period. Beaumont breaking it out now. The ball's poked free, however. This is Folliard. Folliard in all alone. And waited that out for what seemed like an eternity before finally firing it by the goalie with the outstretched reach. 3-1 for Saskatchewan is what our score is right now, with about just under 3.5 to go in the first period. Lots of back and forth action, however, though. I'm not calling this game over by any shot. If you've watched any Senior B or even any Junior B this year, you know anything can change in a moment. Beaumont does pick this ball back up on a possession, however. They are going to get the offense back out. They need to reply here. They've had their chances, just can't quite convert just yet. Bringing it across. And off the inbound shot that misses just wide, they're going to keep possession of it. Wanted the seam pass, didn't quite get her, but they're going to swarm for Saskatchewan for that ball. Bounce pass into the stick. Partial 2-on-1 developing, doesn't quite work. The man were back just in time to prevent a quality scoring opportunity. For Saskatchewan, however, is going to keep possession of this. They are going to set up for another chance here with 2:45 to go in the first period. A lot of back and forth action so far. And that was saved off the foot. The goalie didn't quite know where it was, but did in fact pick it up and prevented that from going anywhere else. A little bit of rough stuff along the boards, however. Nothing coming of it. Both players going for a change. Beaumont setting up now. For Sask has their perimeter defense set up. See it, the ball moving from Beaumont can break through. Big save McMillan. It's loose in front of him for a second. But his defender knew where that ball was. That was Chris Sherbank. Sherbank doing a good little job of making sure that ball doesn't come through. That was Caden Collum. He's been set up by two Beaumont players. Eventually does get slowed down and the ball gets poked free. 1:55 to go in the first period. 3-1 is the score before Saskatchewan. For those of you just joining us, you've missed a pretty entertaining period thus far. Lots of back and forth, lots of quality opportunities. And we'll wait for the tempers to slow down here, ladies and gents, as you can't really send the unprotected player into the goal crease, even if you're shoving for the ball in the goalie's padding. Let's see how this gets sorted out. There was a fair bit of skirmishing and exchanging going on there. See what's going on down here. We're figuring this out right now. So, from what I'm seeing, they're going to be given at least 2 for cross-checking. Let's see what else they kind of delve out here. That was quite the skirmish going on in front of the Fort Saskatchewan net after the ball was in the crease and people were diving for it. Having a conference of the assistant captains here right now. We do have one man in the box so far. We'll see if there's more joining either side. I don't think that's going to be the only penalty handed out here, however. Player for Fort Saskatchewan sitting in the box right now is number 34. And can't quite find. They're giving him 2 in a game for the cross check. Wow. I knew it was going to sort itself out, but not like that. 2 for a cross check in a game for hitting him from behind into the net. And as much as lacrosse is a very intense sport, you can't just send your opponent flying face first into the boards. Pardon me, that wasn't number 34, it was number 12. That's Caden Collum. He has done for the day. He's hitting the showers, unfortunately. Fort Saskatchewan's bench shortened up here just a little bit. And Collum's one of their very important players for that Rebel team. He's one of their defenders. They're going to miss that. It's Beaumont starts to break the ball around here now. Minute 33 left in the game. Minute 50 on the power play. So, pardon me, not in the game. In the period, pardon me. Fort Saskatchewan just trying to hold off this Beaumont onslaught now. As the ball ricochets off the boards and up in to the weather shrinking that covers the roof of the Ken Nickel Arena down here in Beaumont. For Saskatchewan, they're breaking the ball up here now. They're going to try and kill some time off by being aggressive here now. Minute 10 to go in this first period. With a minute 28 left on the power play, that all you're going to see is 2 minutes. Number 5 on for Saskatchewan, Carter Walker, is serving the penalty in place of the player who got the 5 in a game. Number 12, Caden Collum. And off the shot clock violation, Beaumont's going to break this back up. Fresh 30 on the clock, 50 seconds to go in the first period, and a minute 8 on that power play. Beaumont, they'd like to pull this one within 1, as the ball's bobbled on the pass. But he does come out of the corner with it. They're going to keep working it around, sending it back up high, down to the right-hand side, back up high to the left. They want that point shot, wanted the seam pass, didn't quite work, but he does pick it up. Oh, and just missed. That ball bounced just in front of the net and then just went sky high. Then that shot is sent into the chest of McMillan with about 19 seconds to go here in the first period. Fort Saskatchewan might just go to kill this thing out. Oh, and a big hit on the pick. As this game is starting to get a little bit chippy towards the end of the first. That'll do it for the first period. As we have got a 3-1 lead for Fort Saskatchewan over Beaumont. You're joining us from the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont here. As I mentioned, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Welcome back inside the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont. I'm Colton Hobby. I am taking you the rest of the distance here. My technical producer, Brandon Douglas, at my left-hand side here. We saw a lot of fireworks in the first period here, not necessarily a lot of goals. The intensity started to ratchet up in here, just like the temperature has been outside all week. We've already seen a game misconduct. We might see more. We don't know just yet. All we know is the second period is coming our way, and Beaumont will have about 19 seconds of power play time as that penalty incurred just inside the 2-minute mark. Ball's fighting for it now. Beaumont, in fact, does come away with it, and they're going to try and set up here now and make something happen. Slingshot, and sneaks it through the 5-hole right off the hop. And just like that, we got a 1-goal game once again, as Beaumont does, in fact, answer not even 15 seconds into this second period. It was the quick pass going across, then the slingshot underhand that eluded McMillan 5-hole. He got a piece of it, but just not enough as it just crossed that white line. Line it back up for the draw now. Fort Saskatchewan is going to break this ball out, but Beaumont's going to come away with this. And that ball is just going to roll behind the net. McMillan's going to pin that onto his net to kind of slow things down, get Fort Saskatchewan kind of a regroup here. And they are going to break back out the floor now with a little bit of pace now. They're down 1 defender, so they got to shortchange the bench on who's going over. Fort Saskatchewan sending that across. DeWart hands it over. Working for it. Ball does pop free, however. Folliard, he is getting absolutely mugged by 3 Beaumont defenders as the shot clock expires. Fires one wide of the net anyways. Not going to matter as Beaumont does break back up here, however, and that is a head of steam being taken. Tic-tac-toe, hit the post. You heard it from here. They are going to regain possession. They're going to set up at the high point. And what a keep-in high one-handed stick grab. And that is just going to smack as Royer wanted to go on the short side there. Didn't quite work. And the camera decided viewed. Ref does take a bit of a tumble as Fort Saskatchewan does bring it back across the line. Fort Saskatchewan, they've been a little bit mean with how they've been entering the zone. They're fast and they're going for the first big pass. Beaumont stretching it up across mid. They are going to keep that ball just in front of them, however, as they're going to wait for the offensive 5 to join the floor. Transition change done. And that was a hard shot right into the left pad of McMillan. Saved it, didn't know where it was. That's going to get cleared out of danger. Fort Saskatchewan is going to bring that ball back down the court. Takahara battling hard for the ball now. Takahara did have it for a second and went to poke it free, but Beaumont's going to get possession of that ball back. That was played inside the crease. Beaumont breaking it up now. Lots of game here left for them to try and make a cut, for them to tie the game here, pardon me. 18:23 to go in the second period. Went for the big cross shot as that's not going to work. And wow, big save made as that was Fort Saskatchewan to 4 Fort Saskatchewan defenders transverging right into the mid slot. The pass got past all 4 of them, and then the flying Beaumont player, and I'm gonna have to cut that off on myself here now, as Beaumont is going to get possession inside the offensive zone. They're going to set up with a brand new fresh 30. Ball just slightly out of the stick, but he's going to pick that back up now. Royer's got it. Wanted the high shot going upstairs, didn't quite get it. Just over the net. Bounce shot, same thing. Just in front of the net and over the net. They work that high to the high right-hand point now. About 8 seconds on that shot clock. Got to make something happen here now. Battling for it. Then goes for the big sling jump. McMillan got a piece of it. That ball's going to bounce just in front of Beret's feet. He's going to pick it up. And he's dirty little spin move. Didn't quite get her. But Fort Saskatchewan is going to keep possession of that ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Let's see what happens here. Can they make something happen with 14 seconds? 2 golden opportunities sent both just wide of the net. Fort Saskatchewan had it for a second, and off the little transition play, don't quite know how that one stayed out. All alone, wanted the high glove. I'm sorry with that. Sorry with that, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of camera being finicky, but we're back now. You still have me going along with you, so if that happens, I'll try and explain to you exactly what's going on. 16:40 to go in the second period here now. Beaumont, they're breaking back out the floor. Transition defense being made both sides here now. Defense going up, offense coming on, and vice versa. Beaumont, they're going to bring this over. They're waiting for the rest of the 5 to join the floor. They do. They'd love to get a tying goal here, as that was a nice caught pass with 2 Fort Saskatchewan players draped all over them. They're going to break it back out here now. You got to think the more defensive breaks Fort Saskatchewan can make for those 30-second shot clocks hit, the better. They lost one of their defenders early in the first period and fell through everybody on that. Didn't quite get through, however, as he realized it and fell right on that ball, covering it, preventing anybody from zoning the crease. That's how we had our first big skirmish late in the first period. Beaumont working it around now. Left to right, right to left. Picks it up off the inbound on the wall. And that's just a big shot right in McMillan's chest. Had to do something with that shot clock transpiring. For Saskatchewan, they're breaking this ball back out. It's Takahara. Takahara with a head of speed. Goes for the cross. Big save. They don't get much prettier than that. Oh my. Head of speed coming down the left-hand side. Goes cross crease to the right-hand side. Goalie read that every step of the way. He's stuck with it. This is Royer. Handing it off now. Back to the high point. Down to the right-hand side, pardon me. About 15 minutes to go here in the second period. McMillan being tested early here. Lots of quality opportunities coming from Beaumont. Just can't quite make it happen. Fort Saskatchewan player losing his stick, however, as they're going to break up the floor. Nolsky. He's bringing it across now. Pick set by him. 2 picks. Big shot. Hit the post. Nolsky had the goalie not even seeing that ball the whole way and just absolutely hammered the outside of the post on the far side. Beaumont bringing it up, however, now. Let's see if they can answer. You think they'd be good with the post and battling along McMillan. Big save. Battling for that ball now. McMillan getting caught around in his crease a little bit. Beaumont starting to really feel it now. Their ball movement's gotten a little better in the second period. They're moving it around. The shots are getting more and more dangerous. It's just a matter of time before the next one beats McMillan. And that pass was just behind Beaumont's player now as they work it from left to right. Big shot, McMillan equal to the task. And a big hit inside the crease. That does pop Fort Saskatchewan back out with possession. As Fowler handed that off now. Folliard. Folliard sends it down to the right-hand side. Wong. Wong sends it across to the left. Oh, what ball movement, but Beaumont managing to keep that ball out here now. Fort Saskatchewan does keep this thing in about 5 seconds on the shot clock. And Beaumont's going to pick this off. And in a hurry out of the box is Matt Spadafora. He wanted to make sure that did not make that a tie game. He got off the bench in an absolute hurry, showed the wheels, and he broke up that play. Beaumont bringing it right back into the zone, however. And off the incident, Fort Saskatchewan is going to pick this ball back up. 13-14 to go in the second period. Score is still 3-2 for Fort Saskatchewan from inside the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont. Yang. He's got it. Looking around. Wants to fake across the pass. Finds his pass now with number 81, Ethan Wong. Then Fouliard got it. Went. And Ethan Wong with a little bit more patience than a Beaumont netminder. He outweighted him to go left to right. And he got himself one in the back of the net. Just like that, Fort Saskatchewan has their 2-goal lead back. It is 4-2 Fort Saskatchewan with 12:50 to go here in the second period. Lots of back and forth thus far, however, though. As Fort Saskatchewan looking to pull away from this, Beaumont, they're still hanging around. They've had lots of dangerous opportunities, just haven't been able to beat McMillan. And just for that, another big cross across the left to right of the crease. And the backhand snap. McMillan makes a save, bounces up into the weather-packed roofing we have in the Ken Nickel Arena Center here. That is out of bounds. You can't do that. Fort Saskatchewan is going to pick up the possession of the ball, and they're going to bring it back down the court with 12:20 to go here in the second period, and they score again. Broke it in all from the left-hand side, bringing it down right into the middle of the slot. That's number 18, Ethan Yang. He's got his first of the game, and what a beautiful little goal he's just scored. He pushes Fort Saskatchewan's goal lead to 3. It's 5-2. Off the ensuing draw. It's in the feet of everybody. Beaumont brings away the really, and a 3-on-0 developing now for Fort Saskatchewan. And they rip another one. As Ethan Yang just got his second of the game in about 10 seconds. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Fort Saskatchewan just might go run away and hide with this thus far. Beaumont not showing any quit, though. They're still slinging the ball around very, very well. Trying to make one too many passes, I feel, but you never know. That extra pass might eventually pay off. It's just a matter of how many times are you willing to fire the pill until it hits the back of the net. Beaumont bringing it up off the faceoff now. Working into the right-hand side. They're going to work across now. A little more haste in the players' steps now. That's to Royer. Royer getting worked over, going around the net, looking for another lane. Oh, wow. Nice pass by Royer right in front. Faked once, faked twice. And then just fired it a little bit wide. McMillan shook the first time, didn't shake the second. And if he'd have fired it the second time, he might have had one going on the far side top shelf. Fort Saskatchewan regrouping now. Beaumont bench calling for a penalty, not going to get it. Wow. And that was Cody Takahara. He came in hard from the inside left and got knocked over onto his stomach and still managed to put that ball in the back of the net, low 5-hole. Fort Saskatchewan's got a 5-goal lead now. It is 7-2. Wave upon wave of relenting pressure has been the name of the game for Fort Saskatchewan. What happens to this second period, as they have just started to put the ball away and want to put this game out of reach. Beaumont got to keep their composure here now. They don't want to let the tempers get the best of them. Beaumont, they're back into the zone now, getting worked over. 1, 2, 3 whacks. Popping the ball back out. And you can't, and Beaumont's going to take a penalty out of frustration now, is throwing a man to the floor once the ball popped away. Got to keep your composure now. This is composure territory. You don't want to let your temper get the better of you. You want to keep the game close. For Saskatchewan, they're going to sling this ball around. They're looking for the perfect lane. Yang ripped it and off of the Beaumont netminder's pads and out of play. Gonna be 2 minutes holding, as Fort Saskatchewan's gonna see their second power play of the game here now. So the call is 2 minutes holding Beaumont, and Fort Saskatchewan's gonna set up here now. Very effective moving the ball around in this game thus far. Let's see what happens on a power play. They're 1 for 1. And you know they'd love to make it 2 for 2, just to start really putting this one out of reach. Beaumont not going to let them do that, though. They're setting in tight for the penalty kill here now. Setting the box up. Working it around. Beret. Handing it off now. Beret gets it back. And off the cross from Cross, that was Ethan Wong. He got the cross from Beret. Couldn't quite bury that ball behind the net. And Beaumont's going to break out shortied here. Now the question is Beaumont going to just kill the clock out, or are they going to push for this? Beaumont works it across the far right side along the wall. They're going to start playing it around. Step one, step twice. Cut across the one, cut across two. Save McMillan. With about 1:10 left to go in the penalty to Beaumont, we've eclipsed the 10-minute mark of the second period in Beaumont here. And pardon our camera, it's being a little stubborn tonight, so we're just going to roll on what we can do. Folliard hangs onto that ball. Hands it over. That's Yang. Works it back to Folliard. Folliard winds for the shot, fakes Yang. And that was Ethan Wong. He wanted one right along the side of the net. Didn't quite get it. And Beaumont's going to work the shot clock out. That's good penalty killing from them. They've worked that shot clock down. So they have 35 seconds of penalty left to kill out here. 9:30 to go in the second period. Score 7-2, however. Beaumont wanting to kill this one out and then start making a comeback back into it. It only takes one, ladies and gentlemen, and let's see if they can get it even killing the penalty here. Working it across Royer. Nice steps once around the one man, pardon me. Forgot how to talk for a second. Royer, he's still working in tight. That ball's going to pop into the stick of McMillan. And McMillan sends Royer for a ride. Battling for the ball behind the net. I guess if the goalie wants the ball, he can just go get her. But good work, Beaumont. They indeed kill that penalty out. As Beaumont's back to 5-on-5. And they're going to try and shut down this Fort Saskatchewan offense, who has been very, very relentless thus far in the second period. Another quality opportunity for Beaumont. McMillan is equal to the opportunity once again, however. A little bit of chirping going on now as the two guys just across center ice come back into the zone late. You got to wonder what they were saying to each other. I couldn't quite make her out. Beaumont keeps battling for it. Wanted the behind-the-back snapper, and that's going to hit the net and out of play. Fort Sask going to break this ball out here now. Takahara coming down the right-hand side. Hands it off. Folliard. Folliard sends it wide left. And battles all the way in, and Beret managed to sneak that one. I thought they got a piece of it, but no, Beret is going to bury that. And Fort Saskatchewan is really starting to run away here now. One after another. It's kind of like a tidal wave. Just when one starts getting her, the next one follows behind it. With 7:58, it's 8-2. Line up for the draw now. See if Beaumont can make the quick play out. Beaumont does pick it up off possession. They've been very effective in the faceoffs, however. McMillan been very, very stout in net tonight for this Rebels team. Ball's loose, and that's going to be picked up and out of the zone now. Yang, he's waiting. The rest of Fort Saskatchewan's offense joining Beaumont's defense, catching up. Looking across. Folliard wants to spin off, hands it off to Wong. Wong gets that, stutter steps around, battles through, and a big save. He's going to cover that up just inside the crease. And a little bit of conversation happening here now, going back to the benches. Nothing's going to happen to that. Beaumont bringing it back up. Beaumont needs an answer here. They've had flurries of it, but they haven't been sustaining that constant pressure that Fort Saskatchewan's had. See if they can start with one. You get one, you evaluate, you still got half the game left. And wow, McMillan standing back up tall. And that's picked off. McMillan blindside save on that. Beaumont's starting to show a little bit more tenacity here. They've picked off a couple balls. They've had a lot of in-close opportunities. And we're going to have some more rough stuff. As I was cutting through the lane, Kind of got bumped into the netminder, and momentum takes you flying sideways. But cooler heads are going to prevail, as there's no harm, no foul done. No one's going to be losing their temper just yet. See how this plays out. As the refs figure this out, I'm looking across the benches. Both teams all standing up here. They don't really want to let the intensity of this game die out. Looks like I think we gave them 2 for interference. That might not be the case, however. They're still having a conversation here between the captain and assistant captain, just doing a little, we're going to simmer everything down conversation here now. As they're figuring it out here. Go through the keys of the game here so far. Keys of the game, but Fort Saskatchewan's just relentless forecheck and then moving the ball around the zone. It's been a little bit like a spin cycle. We've got it figured out here now. It's just going to be 2 minutes, no harm, no foul, nothing further. Fort Saskatchewan feels that it should have been a little bit more, as they're saying it was deliberate. But Fort Saskatchewan can do all the talking on the scoreboard here now. They're going to get the 3rd power play of the evening. As Beret brings it in. This is Spadafora. He looks back to Beret. Hands it off. It's Fouliard. Fakes the pass. Fouliard gets it back. Beret. Back to Fouliard. Sends it across. Big save. Fort Saskatchewan does pick this ball back up, however. They've been very effective at moving the ball around in an absolute hurry. We got 6:25 to go in the second period. And about 1:35 to go on the penalty to Beaumont. Working around it here now. They do work that ball out of possession. Fort Saskatchewan only gets it back at the point. And Beaumont's going to get this ball back momentarily. It's in the feet of all the players. Let's see what happens here as the ball breaks free. They're going to work that across to the right-hand side. And that's Tavis Needham. He's going to send it across. Going to go for a walk. Needham sends it down. Going for a left to right. Just content and killing out the shot clock here now. 3 seconds, going for the big shot. And that's blocked partially off the shoulder pads. And that's going to go all the way down the rink here now, pardon me. And that's going to be set up just behind the net. Fort Saskatchewan's going to get the fresh 30 on the clock with 5:39 left and 52 seconds left in that penalty to Beaumont. Setting it back up here now. Beret sends it across. Beret gets it back. Fouliard, Beret, Fouliard. Beret again. Fouliard. Slings it low. It managed to sneak through momentarily, but way to cover yourself. Got the hand behind himself and kept that ball from trickling through. Beaumont still running back here hard. They want to get one here before this period's over. If you can get one on the penalty kill, that might get a little bit of momentum running back your way. As Beaumont, they start to survey around. Step one, steps twice. Kind of got popped in the chin there a little bit, but that ball is going to come free. And this is big save, as that ball absolutely exploded out of the stick on number 5, Carter Walker from Fort Saskatchewan. Beaumont bringing that ball back in. They've got that penalty killed. 5-on-5. 4:45 to go in the second period from the Ken Nickel Arena here in Beaumont. Fort Saskatchewan not big, however, though. They're up 8-2, but there's lots of game left to be played here. We still have a period and about 5 minutes to go. And absolute wheels coming down. That was number 9, Matt Murphy. He got a head of steam coming down the center of the rink and equal to the task and making the save for that ball bounced into the right-hand side. I'm going to cross here now. 4:15 to go. Beaumont looking for an answer. Sending it across right to left high. Rips it just high and wide. Beaumont does get that ball back, however, and they get that fresh 30 on the clock. McMillan saves out the stick. They're looking to break that ball back out in a hurry, and they're going to do just that. Jacob Morris looking for it now. Fakes the pass down to the boards, gives it back up high. That's number 6, Yaron Nolsky. Nolsky sends it across now. It's Wong. And went for the short bounce shot in front. Didn't quite work, however, as that's going to go up into the corner where you see the board slope down to keep the pucks in the winter when we play hockey down here from falling out of play. Beaumont battling around now. Royer thought he had one. Not going to contest with it as McMillan was all across the line. Keeping that one out. Great save, McMillan. Forces Saskatchewan bringing that one across now. This is a hard cut into the zone. Fort Sask, they're still working around. Picks set left and right. Works it to the high left point. Fakes it. Shot blocked in front. Goalie got a piece of it, however. And the flip pass just out of the way now as Jordan DeWard. He's going to break that ball up. Fort Saskatchewan is, in fact, going to get possession of this ball. And they are going to just meander about to get everything set up here now. They do just that. Spatafora looking around now. Gives the ball back now. It's Folliard. Folliard looks left, right. Ball bounced out of his stick. Beaumont does pick this up. And we got a 2-on-1 forming. And I would just take it to the net if I was him. Big save, McMillan. No shortage of chances for Beaumont tonight here, though, ladies and gentlemen. Fort Saskatchewan's just been equal to every opportunity. And they've been cashing in when they've had the ball in their stick. Big save, Beaumont. And that's going to be... And that's a clear-cut breakout. Beaumont shoots and scores. You needed to get one to stop the bleeding. They do just that. That was number 82. Number 82 on Beaumont. He ripped that one on the far side. And Beaumont showing a little bit of life here towards the end of the second period with just over 2 minutes left to play. Slowly chipping away at that 6-goal lead. Now a 5-goal lead. It is 8-3 for Saskatchewan with just over 2 minutes to play. Lining back up for the draw. Beaumont been quite effective in the face-off so far tonight, and they're going to be picking that ball back up. They're gonna break out. Sending it across now, left, right. Wants to shutter step past the man, sets the pick, can't go anywhere. And they got another one in an absolute hurry. Holy Mackinac. Don't count this Beaumont team out just yet. They put up 2 in quick succession. Fort Saskatchewan did them to start the second period here. And I think Beaumont's going to start working it back a little bit just to see if they can push it to a 3-goal lead for Fort Saskatchewan with 1:26 to go here in the second period of a now very back and forth game. The second period was all Fort Saskatchewan, but about the last 3 minutes or so here, Beaumont started to wake up. They started to find their legs a little bit more. Royer, he's bringing it back down here now. Setting the screen. Beaumont, they're starting to buzz here a little bit now. Wanting to go left, right. McMillan watches that just go wide with the last minute to play just approaching here now. And might have committed once, twice, maybe 3 times. Netminder wanted that ball out of his zone in a hurry. But they're going to pick this up and run back and forth here now. Beaumont wanting to get that offensive 5 on. They starting to get it on now. Fort Saskatchewan's defense joining. McMillan saves one going label for the short side top shelf. That ball's going to bounce all the way back down the rink here now. 27 seconds on the shot clock. 28 seconds on the game clock of the second period here. And we got a stoppage here now because we got a timeout. We're going to take a quick 30-second break here. We'll be back when the game keeps going. We're back inside the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont, Alberta. 24 seconds on the game clock here now in the second period. Beaumont scored 2 quick ones in the last 2 minutes here. That original scoreboard read 8-2. We've got 8-4 now. I'm expecting the third period we're going to see Beaumont try and fight back here as strong as they can. And Beaumont with 24 seconds left, 20 seconds on that shot clock, they're deferring to go with the 6-on-5 option here now. Let's see if they can pocket one more, turn a 4-goal lead for Fort Saskatchewan into a much more manageable 3. Last conversations being had at the Beaumont bench with the official. We are getting set up here now. Buckle up. This end of the period is going to be something special. I can kind of feel it. But Beaumont starting outside of the zone here now. Not entirely sure as to why. They're going to start right at center and bring this in. And we're away. That ball comes across now onto the high left point. Works it across to the right. I think they're just trying to find... Yeah, they're starting to pick the intensity up here now. 10 seconds. Cuts through hard. That ball's going to go high and wide. McMillan makes the save. And might go for the empty net. Doesn't quite get it. And that is blocked just as the horn expires. Gotta love the individual effort to keep that ball out of the net by any means necessary. That is the end of the second period. 8-4 is the score from Beaumont for Fort Saskatchewan. We're going to take that nice little 10-minute break, and we'll be back in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back inside the Ken Nickel Arena here in Beaumont for the third period of some Senior B lacrosse on a Wednesday evening. We got the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. We have got the Beaumont Outlaws. Fort Saskatchewan kind of started running away with this one in the second period. They were up 8-2 at one point in time. Beaumont roared back in the last 2 minutes, however. They put 2 in the back of the net to make it 8-4. A 4-goal game. You don't quite know what's going to happen just yet. Beaumont, however, have been very, very excellent in the face-off dot to start and kind of just continue on throughout the game here. But Fort Saskatchewan's done very good on their transition offense and making their shots count when they can. And Fort Saskatchewan winning the draw, sending it right back to McMillan. He is going to try and set this up so Fort Saskatchewan can get the proper personnel onto the floor as this is Garen Nolsky handing it over. Looking now. Running it through Beret. He's kind of their centerpiece tonight for Fort Saskatchewan. That was Young. He was handed over. Beaumont does pick this ball back up, however. And a bit of a big pick set now, as there's a delayed penalty coming on Fort Saskatchewan to start this period now. And with 31 seconds eclipsed, Beaumont is going back to the power play. That is going to be a 2-minute slashing penalty. As Fort Saskatchewan is going back to the box. Beaumont has converted tonight already, pardon me. I'm losing my ability to speak. But Beaumont has converted once on a power play already tonight. Let's see what they can do with another opportunity. Power play goal. Let's spark the bench back up. And let's just see what happens in the next 2 minutes here. Fresh 30 on the clock. Beaumont breaking into the zone here now. Working it around on the far left side. Basic cross pass. Send it back up to the high middle. Flip back pass. McMillan, big save. That ball is partially loose. That's going to be around the net. Royer goes for a tumble. And that is going to be a ball picked back up. Beaumont's going to get that ball back, however. As they send that up to the high point once more. Flipping it around. Sends it to the right-hand side, back to the left point. Wants the shot, thinks about it, shakes it. McMillan sees the ball go by him just wide. Fort Saskatchewan's going to battle for this ball. One big shot. Beaumont picks his ball back up. They're going to keep the ball in with 10 seconds left. Got to make something happen here with 18:44 to go in a third period. And a minute 10 to go on a power play. That's going to be a fresh 30 on the clock for Beaumont as that shot does in fact hit. Beaumont player lost his stick momentarily. Does pick it back up. That ball's going to bounce the boards just before the line. Not out. And Beaumont's going to keep possession here with 16 seconds on that shot clock. Goes for the flip pass. Sends it across. Back across once more, shoots and scores! The mantra of a good power play is make the goalie move around, and once McMillan started moving around there, it was just a matter of time of who was going to bury it and where it was going. That was from right to left, pardon me, and that beat McMillan 5-hole. And just like that, we've got an 8-5 game. There's loads of third period to go here. Anything can happen. It can go one of two ways. But with how Beaumont was moving that ball around to the power play, I'm a little optimistic of them coming back for another fast one here. Rolls the ball back up to the high point. Works it to the left. Royer, big overhand rip. McMillan got a piece of it. Beaumont's going to keep possession of that as the ball hit McMillan before it transcribed out of play. Royer hands it off. Works left, works right. Setting picks all over the place. Nothing coming through just yet. That was absolutely hammered. Hit the plexiglass behind the net. And Beaumont's still going to keep this. Jumping in front. Big save McMillan. And that is going to be a Fort Saskatchewan possession now. As they're going to get the fresh 30 and they are going to send it up the court here now. Fort Saskatchewan is breaking in. This is Folliard. Folliard's been very effective for Fort Saskatchewan tonight. Sends it across to Ethan Yang. Yang shoots it right into the chest of Beaumont's netminder, and that's going to be a stretch pass. They want that right on the stick. Will, and just misses just wide. Lost possession of the ball out of the stick, fired into the right-hand side, and McMillan worked that ball back out of play. And we've got about 17 minutes and 15 seconds in this third period. We were watching Senior B Lacrosse from Beaumont, Alberta. This is the Ken Nickel Arena Center. We have got the Beaumont Outlaws. We have got the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. Beaumont, home in the blues. Fort Saskatchewan on the road in the whites. Back and forth affair now. And that is going to be a run-out shot clock for Fort Saskatchewan. Beaumont is going to get the fresh 30. Much better start for them so far this period. Power play goal to start it off with like about a minute into the power play they had. Defense is tightened up from what I've seen so far. And there is lots of quality shots being taken. McMillan has been very sharp this game for what has beat him, though. They have been perfect shots. Beaumont still working it around. Ball just eclipsed the stick. Brings it back in. And that's going to be just bounced into McMillan's chest as time expires. Never a bad idea to get any shot off from anywhere as that time expires. Fort Saskatchewan bringing it back over now. Ethan Wong, he brings it across on the right-hand side, my left. Fort Saskatchewan still looking around, starting to crash through 4 men through the crease. That's going to work. Slows off, and big save to keep this game a 3-goal lead for Fort Saskatchewan. Beaumont's netminder has come to play tonight, and it's just a matter of time before the next one breaks through for the Outlaws. Beaumont working it around, picked off by number 93. That is Cody Takahara. Takahara has been very effective for what he's been doing so far tonight. Takahara waiting for his line mates. He's going to get him. He goes for the change. The rest of the players joining the fray now. Logan DeWert, he hands it off. Fakes through. And that is an absolutely mammoth save by Connor Murray. Beaumont breaking back in now. Beaumont swinging across. Just off the very tip of the stick. Couldn't quite get it into the webbings. And Fort Saskatchewan's going to break up. 15-15 to go in the third period. This period is flying by thus far. Fort Saskatchewan not in a lot of rush to bring this one across. As this is Ethan Young. He brings it across. Slowly looking around now. Hands that across is Jordan DeWert. DeWert spins off 1-2. Almost 3 guys. And then gets wrapped up high. He drew himself a penalty. It's all about individual effort to get yourself a man advantage, and what an absolute run for Jordan DeWert. He went all the way along the right-hand side, cutting across, and he got himself a holding call called on him. Beaumont going to the box. Crucial 2-minute kill coming for the Beaumont Outlaws now. Steven Nielsen's in the box. Sorry, Stefan Nielsen, pardon me. Fort Saskatchewan, they're working this ball around relentlessly. Beaumont picks it off, however. And they're just going to work this across now. Nothing too fancy, nothing too extravagant. Just getting the ball down the field. And for the through pass, that would have been landing right on the stick of Jaden Green. Just slightly outside of it. They're going to send that all the way down the rink now. And we are going to see what Fort Saskatchewan can go. They're calling for something on the field. I couldn't quite see what it was. But Fort Saskatchewan is going to set up here now. Beret, big shot. And that's saved. Oh, and a big hit. Beret absolutely stepped up to his man for a big hit just inside their own defending end. I felt that one up here. You could hear the thud. But what a hit. Fort Saskatchewan is still setting it up here now. Beret fakes the shot, hands the pass. And that's another huge save, Murray. Murray working it across. 1, 2, 3. And that ball bounces free again. 33 seconds to go on a power play for Fort Saskatchewan is Beaumont. They are doing a very effective job of killing this, even though Fort Saskatchewan has been relentless on their attacks. They've had golden opportunity after golden opportunity, and Murray's been standing on his head. Murray bouncing back and got one to sneak through Murray. I know the old saying there, folks, don't be counting your chickens before they're hatching, but Murray had a fluster of great saves earlier in that exact same penalty kill, and one beat him just short side to the right along the ground. And just like that, Fort Saskatchewan has their 4-goal lead back. Battling for it. Fort Saskatchewan's going to break this up. They're going to bring it around. And Beaumont's going to put extra pressure on. They're going to get that. And they found their way through the lane just wide of the net. Fort Saskatchewan, they're slowing up here now. They're going to get the personnel back on. 12:57 to go in the third period. 9-5 game from the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont. Fort Saskatchewan is on top by 4 here. Those of you just joining, you have missed quite a bit of excitement for a Wednesday evening. I've enjoyed calling this one. I hope you've enjoyed watching it thus far. And that ball is bounced all the way back down to the Fort Saskatchewan netminder. Just as time expires, he's going to fire it the length of the rink. Sorry about that. I lost track of that ball for a second. The white on white from the walls in here kind of threw me for a loop. I lost it. Here comes Beaumont. They're bringing this ball back up super quick. This is Royer. Royer faking the run through. Royer gets that ball. He cuts hard 1, cuts hard 2. Royer goes to the hard cut, goes to the cross-handed shot. McMillan equal to the task. And Fort Saskatchewan is going to break this ball back up once more. Fort Saskatchewan not in a big rush here. Folliard sends it over. That's DeWart. DeWart fakes the pass. Folliard gets it back. Folliard, 1, 2, 3 good whacks he takes. Still hangs on to it. And that is Greg Beret burying it. And Fort Saskatchewan does in fact have their 5-goal lead back. It is 10-5. Fort Saskatchewan's come out here firing once again. Beaumont came out very strong, killing most of the penalty kill here now. And we'll see what happens for the rest of this game. Just as Beaumont picks his ball up, they're going to work it back into their own zone to kind of get set up here. At least I thought it did. No, Beaumont's going to go right for it. Beaumont's going into this thing. They want to get the goal back here. 11:30 to go in the third period. We got a 10-5 game for the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels over the Beaumont Outlaws. A little bit of stoppage here. Fort Saskatchewan is going to pick this ball up once more. They're going to break back up the field. And they're going to do so a little more differently. They're going to do it with a little bit of a different look. As you haven't seen, as Wong's only been seen on the field with the power play on the offensive side of the ball. Wanted to charge hard through the lane, fakes it, and this is Beret faked it. And a little bit of pretty ball movement there, folks. As Garen Nolsky, standing in the right place at the right time, is the absolute recipient of a gifted pass from his teammates as the 6th goal lead is back once again for the Fort Saskatchewan Outlaws. Sorry, Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, pardon me. Do not quote me on that. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, they do have that score back once more. Beaumont, they're bringing the ball back out here super quick. They want to try and get one here now. Slings it from right to left. Back up to the high right, coming down the wall. They're looking. Cuts through 1, cuts through 2. McMillan equal to the task. 10:35 to go here now. That ball whistles by the net. Whistles by everybody for that matter. And Trying to figure out who gets the ball here. Beaumont's going to get this ball in the offensive zone. Fresh 30 on the clock. And let's see what they can do with a brand new set of 30-second shot clock time. That shot clock hasn't started running yet. And Fort Saskatchewan is going to get this ball out of their possession. And I would love to say I know how much is on the shot clock here, folks, but shot clock is not running. Fort Saskatchewan working the ball around here now. 30s for days on the clock because the shot clock's not running. Ball misses wide of the net. Fort Saskatchewan misses the ball. Beaumont picks it back up. They're bringing it down the court in a hurry. Shot clock is now working. Beaumont, they're bringing it across. 2-on-3 coming across the zone. Last of the offensive 5 coming on for Beaumont here now. Works it down to the right-hand side. The last transition player off. Offense on completely now. Rips it just wide of McMillan's left. That ball's going to bounce most of the way down the net here now. And about 5 seconds left, they're just going to spike this thing back down. And they're going to give Fort Saskatchewan the chance to get the ball back and run it back around. Fort Saskatchewan bringing it up here now. There's Eric Wong. Wong's had himself a pretty nice little game. Has a couple of goals. And Folliard. Folliard's been one of their main distributors tonight. Him and Boulet. Him and Bure. I lost track of all there for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Beaumont is going to get that ball back. 9:09 to go in the third period. And they're going to be calling a timeout here now. We are going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. They are bringing it back up the course here immediately. Beaumont, they are pushing hard into the right-hand corner, cutting through, stepped up on by his man, works it across to the left-hand side, surveys, slingshot rip, McMillan saves it. It's in behind him somewhere, in behind the net. Beaumont still picks his ball, however, getting mugged, but Fort Saskatchewan is indeed going to come away with this ball for the time. Goalie sets a pick. And there was a bit of a shot there somewhere. Kind of missed it. As that was Takahara took a bit of a shot there. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You can't let your temper get a hold of yourself. Can't let your temper get a hold of yourself. Oh, and that would have been a nice little pretty pass and play there. One at the far cross going away. Shot clock does in fact run out. 8:17 to go here in the third period. And we are going to have another penalty called as Beaumont back to the box, and that is number 94. Been one of the more consistent players for the Outlaws tonight. But when you're down by 5, you can't quite let your emotions get the better of you. For Saskatchewan, however, very lethal on the power play this evening. You want to try and make it so your opponent doesn't go back to the power play. What do you do, though, sometimes there, folks? Couple behind the back passes from going around and around. That ball pops free, however. Beaumont's going to have a 2-on-1 here break. Cuts around the man once. Cuts the man around. And with Bullard draped all over the man, slings it across on the back pass. McMillan equal to the task, however, though. Minute 30 to go on the penalty to Beaumont. Good first rush out to try and kill some time here. 7:40 to go on the game clock itself. And you can't see it. It's just out of my range here, ladies and gentlemen. But Jaden Green, he's down in the tunnel here. He's giving a little bit of a wincer, but he's going to go right back to the bench. He's going to take a seat. He's going to stretch out whatever is kind of jamming up on him. And a big save as that happens. Fort Beaumont's going to break this back up. That ball takes the friendly bounce. And that's a clean cut to the net. Hard shot, McMillan. Big save. No rebound. You got to kill penalties out here. That doesn't mean anything. You just got to get the ball out of your end and anything can happen. 6:56 left to go here in the third period of a 6-goal game between the Rebels and the Outlaws here now. Fort Saskatchewan starting to pull away here a little bit. Ball movement's been all over the map tonight for these guys as that shot misses just to the left of the Beaumont netminder. Working it around now from the left-hand side to the right behind the net. Slings back up, shoots and scores. That's Jordan DeWert. He's got his first of the evening. And we've got ourselves a 6-goal lead once again for the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, pardon me. I keep saying that, and I don't know why. Well, it's a 7-goal lead now, pardon me here, folks. And off the ensuing draw, that ball goes all the way down into the Fort Saskatchewan end. McMillan's going to pick that up, and that is going to get skied to center. But that's going to be rebounded by Beaumont here now. Beaumont's going to bring it around. Beaumont's going to try and run this ball back in a hurry. 6:15 to go. Beaumont, they're going right for pulling the goalie for the extra man. They're setting the 3-big perimeter. Beaumont looking around. Wanted that pass to Royer. Royer almost got it off. 3 seconds on the clock. And as the 30-second clock runs out, goalie's going to run back to the other end for Beaumont. 5:50 to go in the third period of a 12-5 game in favor of the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. Fort Saskatchewan, they're going to be bringing this out now. Number 18, Ethan Yang, he gets it. Big jump pass over to the far side. Number 91, Randy Beret. Beret sends it across. And almost like a one-timer, just misses out of the stick. And that's going to be a shot clock violation for Fort Saskatchewan. That's going to roll all the way down the rink here now. Beaumont, they are going to get the fresh set of 30 with about 5:20. And they're going to go right back to pulling the goalie. They want to get one here. They want to push the extra player on the floor. And as that time starts up, Beaumont, they're going to start looking around. 6th man starting, Fort Saskatchewan. They're playing that big 3 up the middle. Shoot, McMillan got a piece of that going across his far side. Shot another big save, McMillan. He's been sensational tonight for the Rebels. And he's going to bounce a shot all the way down the rink with 5 minutes to go here in the third period. And Beaumont's going to work this ball up from the left side of the rink. But they're right. Beaumont bringing a goalie right back out. They're going to keep pushing. They want to get another goal here. Bringing it across. Sends it down to the left-hand corner just before the goal line. Back up to the hash marks. To the blue line. Rips it. Scores! But you got to keep pushing, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what happened there. You keep moving the ball around enough. Eventually, you are indeed going to find the back of the net. Beaumont making it a 6-goal game once again. You got 4:35 left. I think they can get a couple more before this game's over. I've seen crazier things happen in the game of lacrosse. For all we know, the next 4.5 minutes, we can have a tie game here. And this place would be beside themselves. Proper personnel on the floor there now. Number 66 on Beaumont. He's practically limping himself over. As we got players both sides, ice packs and everything in between trying to bring them across. Beret, he hands that off. Beret, he's sending it down low. This is number 93. Takahara takes a big hit behind the net. as Beaumont is going to bring this out, or at least think they're going to. Yeah, there it is. Now Beaumont's got it. Netminer, he's going back, and there's a little bit of pushing. And we might have something going here, but cooler heads are going to prevail. It's just going to be 2 each for roughing. So 2 each for roughing and extra 2 minutes going to Fort Saskatchewan for the face mask. So here's that late power play we were talking about earlier. Beaumont gets the late opportunity here. They're going to have the possibility of being 6-on-4, and that is huge in the sense of what can you do with 2 minutes of 6-on-4. A lot more ball lanes open up, little less coverage. And we are back in play here. 4 minutes exactly to go in the third period of a Wednesday night affair between the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the Beaumont Outlaws. Fort Saskatchewan still up by 6. Beaumont, they have a 4-minute power play. 2 minutes. And that's a goal! Got my train of thought off there, but Beaumont, they got one on the power play. They're going to have an extra 2 minutes to play with here still. I believe that was... Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot about the extra... I thought it worked like hockey. It does not work like hockey where you have the offsetting minors, then the extra one works as the power play. My mistakes there, folks. Been a long day, but I'm trying my best to bring the entertainment to you, and hopefully I am doing a good job for you tonight. Fort Saskatchewan, they are working this game back into their thing. This is Nolsky. Nolsky setting picks. Working it back up. This is number 44, DeWart. He's got his first of the game earlier tonight. Working it across. Young. That was a shot right off the netminer's head. And another big save. 3:33 to go. Minute 30 to go in both penalties. And then Beaumont's going to get the extra 2 minutes here. They'll close the game out on the man advantage. Beaumont bringing it back out. They want to have the 5-on-4 here now. They're going to run this in an absolute hurry. Big rip. McMillan. Save. Sending the netminer back to the net as fast as they can. Draped all over number 22. That's Chris Sherbank, and that ball pops free. 3 minutes to go here now. Still a 12-6 game for Fort Saskatchewan. Beaumont, they're trying to get something going here. See if they can get one more. Working it up high to the point. Wings and whips it. That is off the post of a ball he got all of when it came out of the stick. A little bit of pleasantries being exchanged out on the floor there now, but no, you have to ask yourself how that wasn't any contact from behind. I'm not one to say, I'm not the official. Keep this impartial. Still got a 5-on-4 with the empty net for Beaumont going on now, and Beaumont shoots and scores again. Beaumont's not going away just yet. Four-goal lead for Saskatchewan. 2:33 to go in the third period. There's going to be 30 seconds to go of 4-on-4 time. Then Beaumont's going to have 2 minutes of power play time. They're basically going to close the game out on the power play. Let's see what they can do with it, because Beaumont's power play started to click. Even with them doing the pole goalie experiment, that is clicking. They've gotten 2 that way. And I feel if they go back to 5-on-4 and get to 6-on-4 afterwards, they might be putting at least one more in the back of the net. This is back to McMillan. He has had a very sharp game for Fort Saskatchewan tonight. Faced tons of quality opportunities. For Saskatchewan, bringing it over. Duarte, he brings it across the line now, bringing it down the right-hand side. Duarte works it around the net. All the way around the net. Goes to the run around the entire rink. Keeps going around. And they're just trying to kill this out. 3 seconds left. Big save. And it's in the goalie's feet. Didn't see it. And with 3 seconds left on the penalty, Beaumont's out. 2 minutes to go. Last 2 minutes of play, we're basically going to see the power play for Beaumont carry us through to the very end here. Just waiting on the proper time to pull the Beaumont goalie, pardon me. I can't talk. And Beaumont scores again. Beaumont is not going away in this one here, folks. They got pushed around a little bit early, but they started figuring it out. They started figuring out the passing lanes that weren't working earlier. And just like that, we have got ourselves a 3-goal game between the Rebels and the Outlaws with a minute 44 left. And now we might have a little bit of rough stuff here if they're lining up for it. For Saskatchewan breaking it out here wide. And Beaumont's going to partially skip that ball. Got it past the one man, not the other though. McMillan sets a screen on his man. And Joe Royer, he is bringing this Beaumont team back into the break by himself. Ozek is handed off now to Ethan Wong. Ethan Wong faked the handoff. That's Takahara handing it back over. Big save into the stick of the Beaumont netminder. Minute 5 to go here from the Ken Nickel and Beaumont. This has turned into a very entertaining game. I've enjoyed calling it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. And we're officially in the last minute of the period here now. Fowler, he's bringing it all the way up. Big man going for a run. And they're going to want to seal this net off very, very well. And that'll do it. Fowler shed through the 2 checks. And that's going to be all she wrote for that one. With 41 seconds left, Fort Saskatchewan does regain their 4-goal lead. It was just a matter of time before he shed the 2 or 3 checks that were holding him down in the lower right-hand corner. And he came out uncontested, put it in the back of the empty net. Lining back up for the draw here once more now. Going to have about 2 stoppages now before the end of the game. See if we can get a little more fast-paced, flurried action going on here. Ball pops free. And the ball ends up underneath the Fort Sask player, or at least I thought it did. Beaumont came away with that ball. And Beaumont's going to call the timeout here. We're going to take the 30-second break. We'll be right back. Yeah, sure. We'll wait till everybody gets a little bit squared up here, but yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back inside the Ken Nickel Arena with about 36 seconds to go in the third period here. 13-9 for the Rebels over the Outlaws. We've seen a lot of back and forth in the last 3-4 minutes after Fort Saskatchewan kind of put the work on early. At one point being up as big as 8-2. But Beaumont started to chip back a little bit. Beaumont's... And I guess we're going to be taking another time. I guess we're taking another time out here, folks. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Sorry about that. Are we going to see a scrap? All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back inside the Ken Nickel Arena. 25 seconds to go on the third period clock. 13-9 for the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. And Fort Saskatchewan is just going to play a little bit of keep away here. They're going to run this one out. They want to keep this from getting a little bit heated up, but the crazier things that happened. We're 2 seconds away from shot and game clock. Lots of working over being happening down in the wall there. And I think they're going to let it run, and that'll do her. Oh, go! No, 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 don't do that after the game. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen, from the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont, Alberta here. Fort Saskatchewan defeating the Beaumont Outlaws 13-9. I've been Colton Hobby calling this one for you. Brandon Douglas, my executive producer, to my left. He's been the one working the camera for you tonight. Have yourself an awesome rest of your Wednesday, and if you don't hear from us sooner, happy Canada Day.